So when you're looking at the head, what's really interesting, first of all, is that seesaw, or that level of balance. I've said it many times, there should be balance throughout your whole body. And it's hard to see balance lying down, because you're like, of course I'm balanced, I'm lying down, I'm not going to fall off the table. If you've worked on a child with cerebral palsy, or if you've worked on a senior, their issues with balance are so severe, they do not know mentally that they're not going to fall off this table. You'll see it more so in seniors when the hand's splayed. If someone's laying down here when this fans are like this, I know they've fallen big time. And they're so still paranoid. And this is also why I use a permanent table. It's really to respect my clients. To use a portable table, even to sit down on this, and it makes a little bit of a creak, that alone will affect the vestibular and how they respond to me. Now, I have a portable table, and I use my portable table for other higher dimensions when I have to. But in general, this is a very wide, secure, safe. I mean, I can sit here and do all of this. This thing's not making a noise, but, my husband made this table. So, when I can touch a head, even just this as I'm talking, and I know that health of that person. First of all, I'm not getting any kind of hypertension. I'm not feeling a pulse. I know if I'm feeling a pulse, my hands are literally, all 5 fingers are going boom, boom, boom. I'm like, oh, so you have high blood pressure? Or they probably have a migraine. Either way, but you can feel.
So the school?
Oh, yeah. Because the heart, it goes right up.
No, just here.
No, you'll feel the whole skull. I'll be working on you for the ears, so you'll feel that. So now what I'm doing, and you wouldn't even notice it, I'm lightly tilting her head as if I was bringing her head to her shoulder. And again, even if you looked above her, you wouldn't see me doing it. This is how faint I'm doing. But now you can see how easily she does it to the right. Do you see the difference? So the same amount of pressure, I'm bringing her right. It's sort of like I'm making this giant circle, but I'm bringing the head, see how it goes to the shoulder easily this way? But if I use the same amount of pressure bringing her to her left, her head's not budging. That being said, I know I can sit here and make her do it, but that's just going to put tension on her neck, and I'm not respecting her. Do you feel the difference? How the right is easy, but the left is difficult. You see how you don't know how to do it on the left?
Yes, the left is difficult.
Yeah. And then the same thing here, I can try and lift her. Right now she's a very heavy head. So there's no sense in me, when I feel a head this heavy, for me to work with her now in this position, I've already forced her just to put her underneath my hands. So I will respect her and keep her head down on the table until I know I can lift her more successfully. Do you guys want to feel that? No. Do you want to feel lifting her head? Okay.
Actually, yes, I do.
Sorry. So just feel just the lift of the head. Do you see how much yeah. But feel it again. Feel it where her back is not connecting, like it's hard for her to bend the spine to lift the. Okay.
Yes.
By the way, I'm fixing all this, so don't worry about it.
Huh.
But do you see how by me now lifting that head up and working with it, even though I'm being gentle, is not in her best interest. So now that being said, I'm going to start to work with the maxillaries and the sinus cavities. So again, I don't need to do a test run because I've already done all of that. So I know what the face is doing, but just to show you. So I'm going to look at the jaw. So see, I can't twist her head. But I can do it this way. See the difference? How I can twist her? So I'm bringing the forehead over to the right and the chin over to the left. But to do it this way, she's like, I'm not doing it. And you can really, I can feel the tension more so in the nose. That tension's all coming from here. Now again, how did this happen? I don't know. She could have fallen down. Everyone's fallen on their face sometime in their lifetime. She could have had a car accident. It could have been the way she developed as a child, the way she crawled. She's now on my table at this moment in her life. That's what's important to me. That's why I don't ask people what the birth history is. I want to work on who's on my table, not, that someone was born at 23 weeks. I don't want to have a preconceived notion of what that person should be doing. And a lot of people can't remember what has happened to them. I touched a man and he just panicked. He shivered. Like, it was just so weird. And I'm like, did you fall a lot as a child? Oh, I was a total klutz. And finally he remembered. He's like, oh, I was near drowning. My dad was a doctor. He saved me, got the water out of my lungs. But I fell into the pool and he saved my life before the paramedics got there. Now he's 43 and he's fine. He suffers from back pain, but that's from all these internal spasms because his body was panicking like he fell into the pool. He still had that panic in his system. So since I've already tried to twist her head, it didn't work well. I'm on the nasal cavity and I'm trying to roll her head over to me. There we go. Do you feel the same thing happened to your head when I worked on your hand yesterday?
Yes.
How now I have you? Do you see the difference now? That her brain goes, oh. So just, yeah, it's easier. And see already the difference of now. It's still not great, but you see how I'm working, my hand is here, just like I'm on the top of the spine, the volume, through the jaw. And what I'm also doing is a little lift at the same time. So even though I'm rolling, it's kind of a lift of the jaw. This is hard to do on kids, nap time, after bath, when they're sleeping. You can work on people all the time when they're sleeping. So now I'm going into her maxillaries. So see, I keep the volume of the head that we were talking about, the sphere part, the skull, and now I'm going into her face. So what I'm starting to do, just like I was talking about yesterday with the dropping the foot to the floor, you see how it's very hard to drop the sinus cavities down, to extend the face. Here, I'll show you the difference. Feel this side, nothing. This side just a little bit. Feel how I can pull? See, I can't pull.
So,
Here's. So feel here to rotate.
oh,
And now feel here. See, here it's more the back of the neck, and here is the face rotating. See the difference? It's subtle stuff. See, it's more like I knock on the door, and here she rolls with me. But honestly, you can't open all your clients' mouths. I know they do it with cranial, and I'm dying to take that part of cranial to work in with the palate, but then my brain goes, well, just figure it out yourself. There we go. But I can't go in her mouth. She'd bite my fingers off. Or Zach's, your son, he would have a ball with me.
oh yeah, no, I wouldn't do that.
But it's not so much going in the mouth, but you see to go into the level of the bones. Right here. And see, I'm just like a detective. I find little spots that don't want to move, and I go, Now again, there's nothing wrong with her. She doesn't have pain on her face, but let me tell you, she might suffer from migraines or sinus pressure, and let me tell you, the less that face moves, where's that pressure going to go? It's the same with the lungs. People that have like lung issues and stuff, especially acid reflux, I tell you, that rib cage is so tight, it has no place to go but up. When you burp, your chest should expand. There's no difference for your face. And what's interesting too about the sinuses, if you have issues with fluid, a mucus should be at a certain consistency. And that's the gravitational pull that you're used to. So as our sinus mucus becomes thicker, that's what makes our relationship to gravity more severe. That's why you can't go to work or drive a car when you have the flu. You know, you don't have fine motor skills because your head is in a sense so thick that gravity is superseding all of that mental conversation. People get dizzy, don't know where they're going. But everybody thinks the skull's fused, so what can you do? There we go. Now see how the neck's starting to change? See the chest cavity? Just to show you. See, I can't pull the chest. See, it stops. Goes boom. Here. See the difference? Now it's a pelvis. Feel it?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I didn't stretch her, I didn't wrench her, I didn't do anything. Now I'm going to do my whole hand here. What I'm going to do is twist. I'll be doing it from both sides so you can see it. But see how I'm not just pushing her, it's like a twist. And just to feel the difference, see? Are you comfortable? There. Now the head's starting to rotate around the face. And when it does, that's when I can get quicker. But you never see me just start feeling up somebody and just go, oh, boop, boop, boop. You know, unless you're working on me where I'm already pretty, there we go. But now, who's going to have a better chance at speech? This side of the jaw? Or this side? I can't, do you see the difference for speech, for eating? Versus here? See the difference, do you feel the difference? That's okay, you can talk while I'm feeling you up, that's all right. But even too, see now what I can do with her head? I couldn't lift her. Now it's like, woo. And I've only worked one side of the face. So now I can do this movement. See now? See I can't, now it's hard to go on this side because I haven't worked on this side of the face. But feel the difference? It's the same head. Now she's learning from it. And she's thinking about it, so it's changing. That's why when you test people, you only have a couple of tries, because then the brain will start, you know, if it's intelligent, it'll just go. That's why I was so excited when she was working with her left hand, and then she goes, I'm going to do that on my right hand, because she knew the difference between left and right. Or I shouldn't say that she knew the difference that she had the two hands, and she wanted to bring the conversation over. If she wants any toys, that's fine. Yeah. Or I also have blankets if you want me to put her down on. I don't care. There we go. So now I'm just quickly loosening up the neck.
Get some
Yeah, if you want. She likes beads.
beads.
Please. And maybe the blanket. And all I'm doing with the neck right now is just saying, I'm here. I'd like your participation. So now, without me touching you, do you feel the difference between the right side now and the left?
The left your hair.
Yeah.
Oh, just like yesterday.
Yeah, yeah. So now I'm going to start on this side. I'm doing it a little different than the other side, just to show you. I mean, there's 50,000 different ways to do a lesson. I don't ever want to teach this, then I'm a bad teacher, that people are going to feel, what did she do exactly? As you noticed before, I never say, put your finger here, put your finger. Her maxillary cavities, just because she's Vietnamese, is going to be different than yours because we're in Poland. You know what I mean? Versus mine. I mean, the skulls are the key to showing where people are from, being on this planet. And you're Japanese, so everybody's maxillary cavities here are completely different. But what I'm trying to do is pull on the face, in a sense, pull here, but yet rotate the skull. Because what I'm trying to do is separate the functions. It's just like driving. Your feet don't do what your hands do. You sitting there, your functions in your face should be separate. The more high level we are, the more we can do different things at the same time. But if you look at most children with special needs, they can't float their eyes and their heads. Their heads and eye function are almost autonomous. And have very hard time looking up, upper quadrant vision. Yeah. Literally, you can look at a baby, and if I can't go like this to a baby, just like she's doing, and the eyes go up to look at this, we have a problem. That alone. One test if you want, if your child's going to possibly be delayed, right there. Because again, it's that whole rotation. So if her eyes never go up like this, if she's like this, see the difference of what she can do with her eyes? But for a baby, because rolling over then will never happen.
See, like the one thing in Poland was always don't stand behind and look at babies from behind. That's what I always heard. People try.
You have to change a lot of sayings, I think. The better a human being performs with movement, the true definition is that they can do something in every position. That's great that you can sit at a desk and write, but why can't you stand and write on the wall? Why can't Matisse drew on the ceiling? I mean, and that's why people, and when he was dead, dying, he couldn't walk, so he had a 3-foot stick, and we had to do this in college, and it was hard. He put a chalk on a 3-foot stick, and he made someone put paper on the ceiling, and we had to draw. So that was one of our homework. So we had to get a dowel and draw with this stick. Well, let me tell you, it's hard enough drawing with a pencil in your hand, much less on a stick across, because it changes your proportions. Like when my son, and I actually just had a huge breakthrough with my client in Madrid, because we Skype. He was drawing on a whiteboard, but he was getting tired. I said, put him down on the floor and let him draw. She's like, the PT will get mad. I said, I don't care. Put him down. I said, it's not that he can't hold his head up anymore. He's tired. They always used to say my son was stimming. He'd lie there with the toy and maybe do this. Oh, Mrs. Turner, it's such a stim. I said, he is so exhausted. He wants to play. This is all he can muster. Oh, no, Mrs. Turner, it's a stim. And I'm like, hello. Did you get your hands working? I can't believe she's so good today. Shh, I shouldn't say that. So, you like her blonde hair, huh? Oh, I know. Yeah. Now, see the difference now on how she can float the eyes and the eyebrows start to move and stuff, and the change in the facial expression versus when she's more involved in the part of the seat. Now she's looking up. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, my son, he can write upside down, sideways, in any position he's in, he could write. And his visual teacher said, don't let him do that. I said, what? She goes, he needs to learn to write on paper right side up. We need to stop this. I said, you touch that, I'll kill you. And she looks at me. I said, do you know how brilliant that is? That he can write in any position? That's brilliant for someone who just got declared mentally retarded. I mean, he was doing pretty good. I said, when he goes to school, he'll figure it out. But right now, you know, an M is an M, whether you look at it right side up or upside down. Matter of fact, everything we look at flips in our brains anyway. So, I noticed too, I can talk like just a sailor, but I never stopped working. My touch never changed. My emotions can go up and down. There we go, her whole neck just went so much nicer. So now, see how I can float her head here. It's also quicker. See? This is one thing that a lot of kids with special needs don't learn, okay? This is a fall. Now, I usually ask permission before I start messing with people's heads. Unfortunately, when you're at class, you kind of get me for what I am. It's a very gentle fall. But when you're high tonus or low tonus, you have no control over that. Now, I'm not hurting her. Now, if she's someone that gets motion sickness, she's probably not appreciating it right now, but that's a few and far between, so I didn't ask. But if you're constantly, like in a torticollis kind of position, right? And that head is not learning that kind of, now I just let her fall off my hand, I'll do it again. So see how I'm just letting her fall off my hand? I can let her fall off my hand. I can do it in a very nice way. Again, but see, her breathing hasn't changed. Now I can do this, like I'll do probably to you next, but quickly to you. At first, before I touch you, you'll startle. I mean, it's just a given. There's no, because your brain, even though I'm talking to you through it, I'm going to tell you what's going on, your body will react because I haven't gotten that permission from your system, nor have I put you in a place that was easy for you. But this is where kids go up and down, you pick them up, you diaper them, that they should be able to just nicely float their head in and out. And when that doesn't happen, that's where you get that ATNR, that's where you get all of those. So we'll go back to here now. So see how nice and mushy her face is? I can do circles now with her chin. I can do circles now with the nose. I can do here circles. And this is running and walking. But look at her pelvis and her feet. See, everything is reflecting now from the face. And this is where I was saying too, you know, our bodies are 75% to 80% liquid. You should get this. If you work on me, you'll get this, you know, almost right away. But for most people, when they're bricks lying down for the first. But still now, see how I can do the whole jaw. Again, the level of speech. See how now the jaw is independent from the head. And again, most people I don't shake them around. I'm doing this more so for class so you see the tonus changes. So now with that, you can get up and feel that. Now also, your head is much lighter. You might think you're lightheadedness, but you're just lighter. But your brain doesn't know the difference. So if you want, sit up and feel that.